Have you ever been in a situation where you don't know what to say?
Yeah, I have. Why?
The other day, I was in an elevator and it was just me and one other person, and it was completely silent,
Yeah, I know that situation.
right? And I kept thinking, should I say something? But I just couldn't.
Yeah, your mind just freezes sometimes.
Exactly. I even thought about saying something simple like the weather, but I still couldn't say it.
That's interesting. It's such a small moment, but it feels really stressful.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Why does something so small feel so difficult?
That's a really interesting question.
Welcome to Calm English Dialogues, where we explore real experiences of learning and using English through calm conversations. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Tom. It's great to be here.
If you enjoy calm conversations like this to practice your English listening, feel free to subscribe to the channel.
And if this topic feels familiar to you, you can also leave a like so more learners can find these conversations.
So, Tom, let's talk about why small talk feels so stressful.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's such a small thing, but it doesn't feel small at all.
Exactly. I mean, in that moment, I was thinking, just say something simple, but my voice just wouldn't come out.
That happens to me too. It's like your brain just stops for a second.
Right. And then all these thoughts start coming in, like, what if it gets awkward?
Or what if they don't respond?
Yes, exactly. And then I start thinking even more, like, what if they think I'm weird?
Those what if thoughts really build up.
They do. And I think a big part of it is I'm afraid of silence.
Silence can feel uncomfortable, especially in those situations.
Exactly. Like if I say something and they just give a short answer, then the silence feels even heavier.
Almost like it gets louder after you try to break it.
Yes, that's exactly it. And then I feel like I need to fix it, like I have to say something better next.
So the pressure keeps growing.
Right. It's not just one sentence anymore. It feels like I need to keep the conversation going.
And that's where it becomes difficult. We start thinking we have to be interesting all the time.
I don't want to sound boring.
But maybe that's not the only problem.
What do you mean?
Sometimes we just don't know what to say.
That's so true. Sometimes my mind just goes blank and I can't think of any topic at all.
Exactly. Even something simple feels hard to choose.
Yes, like I think about talking about the weather, but then I wonder, is that too boring?
Right, you start judging your own ideas.
And then I end up saying nothing.
So it's not just fear, it's also not knowing what to say.
Yeah, both at the same time.
And maybe we're just overthinking.
Yeah, maybe we are.
And maybe it's not just in our heads. Our brain is trying to protect us.
Protect us?
Yeah, even a small social situation can feel like a risk. So our brain reacts, even if it's just a short conversation.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It's such a small moment, but it feels much bigger in our head.
That's the thing. I see some people and they're just so good at small talk.
I know what you mean. I always notice people like that.
They can talk to anyone about anything. They just start talking.
Yeah, and it looks so easy for them.
Exactly. My friend Sarah is like that. We'll be in a coffee shop, and by the time we get our drinks, she's already had a full conversation with the barista.
Really? What kind of things does she talk about?
Oh, just simple things like asking how their day is going. But somehow she turns it into a longer conversation.
That's amazing. I feel like I wouldn't even know how to start.
Same here. And the interesting thing is, she doesn't seem nervous at all.
That's probably the biggest difference. For me, I feel nervous even before I say anything.
Yeah, and for her, it seems like she gets energy from those interactions.
Right, and for me, it feels like the opposite. It takes energy.
That's a really good point. Maybe it's just a difference in personality.
Yeah, like introverted and extroverted.
Exactly. Some people feel more comfortable starting conversations, especially with strangers.
And others need a bit more time to feel comfortable.
Right. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. It's just different.
That actually makes me feel a bit better.
Yeah, it's not something you have to fix. It's just part of who you are.
They seem to enjoy it, right?
Yeah, totally. My friend Sarah is like that. She gets energy from talking to people. I, on the other hand, can read for hours without getting bored.
Right, we're just different types of people.
Exactly. So maybe we can think about some simple ideas. Not to change who we are, but just to make those moments, like in the elevator, feel a little less stressful.
Okay, I'm open to that. What do you have in mind?
First, I think we need to lower the expectations. You don't need a perfect or fascinating topic.
So, talking about the weather is okay?
It's more than okay. It's a classic for a reason. It's something you both share in that moment. It's safe and it's easy. It's really hot today, or looks like it might rain. That's a perfectly fine way to start.
Okay, so simple is enough.
Simple is enough. The goal isn't to have a long, deep conversation. It's just to share a small moment of connection. A simple question can work too. If it's a Monday, how was your weekend is always a good one.
Right, people usually have something to say about that.
Exactly, and you're showing you're interested in them, which is always nice. Another thing is to pay attention to body language.
Oh, that's a good point. How can you tell if someone wants to talk?
Well, are they making eye contact? Do they have headphones in? Are they busy on their phone? Those are usually signals that they're in their own world.
Okay, yeah, if they have headphones in, it's a clear do not disturb sign.
Right. But if they look up, maybe smile at you, that's an invitation. It's a green light to say a simple hello.
Look for the green lights, and if there are no green lights, that's okay too. This is a really important one. Silence is okay. You don't have to talk every time.
Really? But it feels so awkward.
It can feel awkward, but we can choose to see it differently. It can just be quiet, peaceful. You are sharing a space, but you don't have an obligation to fill it with noise.
So in the elevator, I could have just stood there and smiled, and that would have been enough.
Absolutely. A small, friendly smile can be a form of small talk. It's a silent way of saying, hello, I see you. I hope you have a good day.
I like that. A silent conversation. That feels much less scary. Another idea is to have a couple of go-to questions ready in your mind. Not like a script, but just some easy options.
Oh, like a mental list?
Exactly. Like, how was your weekend? Any exciting plans for the week? Or if you're at an event, how do you know the host? Just a few simple things you can pull out if you need them.
Having a backup plan. That sounds very helpful. It makes it feel less like I have to invent something amazing on the spot.
Precisely. It's just about having a small toolkit to make things a little easier.
That makes sense. I think the most important thing is to reframe it. Small talk is not a test or a performance.
What about ending the conversation? That's another part that I find tricky, especially because I don't want to sound rude.
Yeah, that's a really common feeling. Ending can feel just as difficult as starting. One simple way is to close with something kind, like, it was nice talking to you, or have a great day. It keeps things friendly without feeling awkward.
Oh, that's good. Just a short, polite ending. That actually makes it easier.
Exactly. It's still the same idea. Small talk isn't a test. It's just a small moment of connection.
Right, not a test. That shifts the pressure from performing to listening. I like that.
It's just a small, gentle way of acknowledging another person. A little signal that says, we're in this together.
That's a much nicer way to think about it. It's not about being impressive, it's just about being present and friendly.
Exactly. And even one simple sentence is enough. You don't need to have a 5-minute conversation. A single hello or have a nice day is already good.
That's already good. I need to remember that. It's about small steps.
Small steps, and being kind to yourself if it feels hard. It's okay that it feels hard sometimes. The more you practice in these small, low-pressure ways, the easier it might become.
So maybe next time I'm in an elevator, I'll just try for a small smile and see that as a success.
That's a perfect goal. And who knows, maybe the other person will say something first.
That's a good point.
That's a great first step, and remember to manage your expectations. Sometimes a conversation just doesn't happen, and that's not your fault. The other person might be busy, stressed, or just not in the mood to talk.
What about finding something you have in common? I've heard that helps.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, this has been really helpful, Ashley. So, to summarize, small talk is not a test. The goal is connection, not perfection.
Right. Connection, not perfection.
Exactly. If you notice someone is carrying a book you've read or wearing a t-shirt of a band you like, that can be a natural way to start a conversation.
That really helps. I'll remember that. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for listening. We hope this conversation was helpful.
Yeah, and if you'd like to hear more calm conversations like this, you can subscribe to the channel.
You can also leave a like. It helps other learners find these videos.
And if you've ever had a moment like this, feel free to share it in the comments.
We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you next time.